Today is a Sunday and I'm at home. I'm not in my normal setting, but I posted a short yesterday and the comments, I think there's about 80 comments at the moment, and there's a serious lack of understanding about how modern cylinders and pistons are made. So the short, in case you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it up here. But basically we were putting an engine together on Friday and noticed that the clearance was too small. I called Umatech, who had just replated the cylinder, and they told me that they've been having a lot of issues with Vertex pistons, Pro X pistons, and Wiseco pistons being the wrong size. So I measured the piston, and sure enough, the piston was too big. The piston has a number stamped in the top of it, as well as in the book when I ordered it. It was a Vertex piston, and I checked the size, and the piston was too big, causing the clearance to be too tight. If we would put that motor together, the engine would seize. So many comments saying that we should have sent the piston along with the cylinder so that they could have matched it. Many other comments saying that we need to bore the cylinder to match the piston. I'm going to explain to you how modern cylinders and pistons are built and why both of those options are a terrible idea. So 40 years ago, cylinders had cast iron liners. Now, there are still bikes that have cast iron liners today. One example is the CRF 250F. It's fuel injected, it's got disc brakes, modern bike, but it uses a cast iron liner. However, engines that are built for performance generally use a Nikasil cylinder. A Nikasil cylinder is an aluminum block, essentially, and there is a nickel silicon carbide or similar solution that is plated onto the cylinder. Nikasil is about 3/1000ths of an inch thick. It's very thin and it's very hard. Now, with cast iron bores, they had typically 4 different size pistons, sometimes more, sometimes less, but those pistons are generally 0.5 millimeter or 20 thou different in size. 20 thou or 0.5 millimeter, that's a lot. When you would do a top end, if there was any damage, you would bore it over to the next size. Generally, you could go to the 4th over, which would be 2 millimeters over, and then you would have to re-sleeve. So cut out the cast iron cylinder and put a new one in. Modern Nikasil cylinders do not wear out the same way, and it lasts far longer before needing to be replated. Because the Nikasil is so much more durable, the piston sizes are different, and they are generally 0.01 of a millimeter different, or about 0.4 of a thou. Now, piston clearance in most modern dirt bike machines is set up between 2 and 3 thou. So 0.01 of a millimeter, or 0.4 of a thou, is extremely small. These tiny differences between A, B, C, and D pistons, as they're called, allows for piston changes as the cylinder wears, so you can get multiple top ends out of a single Nikasil plating. I regularly see cylinders get reused up to about 300 or 400 hours without getting replating. Now, a fundamental difference in the way that this works is with cast iron bores, the piston sizes were not nearly as critical because every time that you did a top end, you would hone the cylinder, check the clearance, and fit the cylinder to the size of the piston. With Nikasil, since you can't change the size of the cylinder easily without a diamond hone, the pistons are now made to fit the size of the cylinder. The manufacturing processes have gotten much more accurate, and the pistons are very, very accurately sized. So when I send out a cylinder for replating, I don't send a piston along because I ask them to return that cylinder back to the OEM bore, and they have the specs on file, and I order an A piston, and when the cylinder comes back, if it's the right size, and assuming that the piston is also the right size, it fits, I assemble the motor, and it works. In the case of this little KTM 65 engine that we were working on Friday, if I would have sent the piston along, and if they would have fit the bore to the piston, which was 2 thou bigger than it was supposed to be, the cylinder would have also been 2 thou too big. Then, since in all likelihood the next top end would have the proper size piston, the clearance would be too large. Now, there's a good chance that the next top end with the proper size piston would probably still work, but a competent mechanic would have measured the cylinder and the piston and seen that the clearance was way too big, and the ring end gap would be affected. And when you have too much clearance, the piston is going to rock back and forth in the bore, and wear is going to be accelerated. It's not ideal. So instead, I simply ordered a Wassenaar piston from Umatech where I had the cylinder plated. It'll be here next week. The piston clearance will be in spec. We'll build the motor and it will be proper, and the customer will get maximum life and performance out of that engine. If you guys want to know more about what happens at a Nikasil plating facility, I'll include a link to the video that I did up here. I'm also going to be doing a video on the full plating process, hopefully next month. Might take a little longer than that to get out as things go, but keep an eye out for that as well. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing on a much more day-to-day basis, you can find that content on Instagram. You can also join the TrueTech community. It's $7 a month. You'll find my courses, currently tire change course, suspension basics course, and very soon an electrical course. I'll include a link in the description below.